Great day, great day, great day. Hey, 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 we are going to talk about faithing your way. So faith your way. So tap in, tap in, tap in. Dr. JP here talking about faith tonight, just to start giving y'all some tidbits on some different things of activating your faith and pushing you to the next level. So tap in on your faith tonight. Tap in, tap in, tap in. So tonight we are going to talk about faith. Talk about faith, having faith. Let me grab a marker. We're going to talk about faith tonight and helping you to tap in to work your faith. And, you know, faith is the substance of things not seen. And so we know that part, but how do you really bring the faith forth? How do you really tap into that? But one of the things I'm going to say on the first side of things, well, no, I'll come back to it. I'll come back to that. But on faith, when you're thinking about faith and you want to tap into your faith, and by the way, great evening, everybody. Great evening, great evening. When you want to tap into your faith, you're bringing there here. And you got to go from a believing to a knowing standpoint. Me and one of my guy friends would talk about this all the time. And he would be like, Jay, you got to go from just believing to knowing. And it's a big difference. It's a big game changer when you really tap in. And so when we think about that, we think about, yeah, I have faith, or I believe in this, or I believe in that. But what about, and think about it from this way. So I'm going to ask you to open your mind's eye up and think about it from a standpoint of, you having a desire, you having let's just say that you have a desire in your heart and you want whatever that is. Doesn't matter. There's no limits, because you're so powerful, but sometimes you don't realize how powerful you are. You or me by ourselves, we aren't power because we have human limitations, but me and you with the power of the divine or the higher power that you believe in, we unlimited and we limitless. And so at that point, that's when you can become strong in your faith to know, I got this. I can't lose with what I use, because I'm not working on my power. I'm working on his power, the divine power that's working on the inside of me. And when you do it like that, it's like one of the sermons I did in church earlier this year. And I was saying, God and I are doing it. When you get in a pit or something, just start saying that. I made a whole little chant song out of it. God and I are doing it. God and I are doing it. And it doesn't matter what you call your divine or your higher power, your higher source, just as long as you believe in a higher source. So we won't get caught up on the technicality of what you call it. I call it God or the divine, but you could call it Buddha, whoever, whatever. I have nothing to do with that, but long as you believe in something higher than yourself. But let's tap into how you bring there here. Think about it. If you have a desire, that desire is in your heart. He put the desires in your heart. So if the desires are there, that means it is alive and it's true reality somewhere. And so, yeah, it might not be showing on this 3D plane. It might not be showing the money or whatever right now as you speak it. But when you believe it and don't care how it's going to happen, it will happen. It will happen. If you have, because he gave you the desire, he gave you the vision, he gave you the dream. And I want to tell you, think about it like Joseph. Just think about it from this standpoint. With Joseph, I'm turning my phone off. Joseph was thrown in the pit. And sometimes we are thrown in the pit of life ourselves, but Joseph was thrown in the pit. And just think about it. Even though he was thrown in the pit, they started to kill him. They started to do this, do that. And we'll just tell him somebody, a wolf or something else got him. We'll tell all these lies. Basically, is what I'm saying. Just like sometimes people tell them on you, and you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay, because when promise is on your life, can't nobody stop it. They can call themselves treating you bad. They can throw you in the pit. But guess what? The infinite being, the divine, will line up somebody to come through to help you. Do know that. And it will all work for your good. It don't matter if they lie on you and you got to run out your coat or run out your clothes, for that matter. If we looking at the Joseph story. So when you think about that, think about it and think about faith from a way that when you connect your knowing to what you desire, that it is already done. It has to happen. A few of the ways, I'm going to give you about 4 or 5 ways that you can really tap into that. One is staying in a peaceful, relaxed place. Staying in a peaceful, relaxed place, being serene to know that it's all good. It's all good. And even when you think it ain't good, find something good about it. Find something good. I'm telling y'all, when I wasn't doing not too good, not too long ago, and I got to that event that next day, and with them people telling me what they was going through, man, I thought what I was going through was minute and little. And I looked at, although I was giving thanks, I started giving even more big thanks, because I realized, you don't realize, it's just like me when I walked off that job, August 23rd of last year. When I walked off that job, that day, my blood pressure, I think, was 184 over 100 and something, and I was struggling to breathe. And they said, get to the urgent care as soon as possible, yada, yada, yada. I say all that to say, you don't realize, and then after that, I got where I could barely walk, yada, yada, whatever. You don't realize how good that life is until you can't do it. When you can't really move like you've been moving. And then I started saying, but I quit saying that too. I started saying, Lord, I'm slow motioning, and slow motion better than no motion, and it is. But I don't want to speak that over my life, that I'm always slow motioning either. So the power of life and death lies in our tongue. So we have to recognize and watch what we say, what we speak. But being in that peaceful, joyful, enlightened moment that there is something good around us at all times. When you can focus in on that, good got to come to you. It's a principle. It's law. It's like the law of gravity. And I don't know if you all, and I won't get into all of that, but I don't know if you ever really thought about or studied any of the laws of the land for real, but gravity is one that we probably all know about just from science or whatever with school. If you go on top of this building and say you're going to just drop off, yeah, you're going to hit plats. Yep, spat. Because it's a law. So when you condition yourself and you discipline your mind to know that if you desire the money, you desire the home, you desire the relationship, you desire all of these things, it first starts with you. Because it says, seek ye first the kingdom. The kingdom is in you. The kingdom is knowing what you believe in, what you desire, what your foundation is on. And when you look at that and knowing that your body is that temple, and you realize the kingdom is at hand because it's in you. But sometimes we are not taught that. And so we look everywhere. We look for the friend to support us, the husband, the wife, the this, the that. And we're looking for us. You got to get to a point to where you can hear your own voice and the inner voice inside of you. And act on that voice. Become and be that person you always knew you could be. I too have done it. I've done what people thought I should be and do and become. And now I'm like, nope, I'm living on this thing on this wall. I'm living my whole best life to make life be what I would have it to be in this season, period. And I won't turn back, period. Period. You get to choose how you want to live your life. And if we are to have the abundant life, turn down for what? Turn down for what? So we got to become to a point that we rise above all the fear, all the doubt, all the unbelief, and we got to rise into of a knowing to know that you are more than that circumstance you went through, that divorce, the marriage, the whatever. You got to rise above that and know that you're more than a conqueror, because you got this. You're all powerful. You connected to the divine spirit. You're unstoppable. But you don't believe it because so many people have told you what you ain't and what you can't. But they was only telling you based on their limited beliefs. That was their limited beliefs. And they want to put it on you. But you don't have to choose that in this season. It's time to rise up. It's time to maximize. It's time to strategize. It's time for you to walk in your victory. I can't say it enough. It don't matter about your age, baby. It don't matter about your stage or your pay grade. If you living, if you alive, if you are well, it ain't over. And I'm not saying we won't have elements or different things happening. Rise above it. Don't even speak it. Speak strong. Speak heal. Speak life. I wrote down a couple of scriptures, just to kind of give you a pinpoint on something, by saying, be what you want to be. And it said, this Matthew 17:17. So it was like, by us being faithless, because we got to mix that faith with our knowing that it is. When you are faithless, you're doubtful. You don't believe you can do it. Let me give you something so you can know that you know what you know. Think about it. You go to school, you go to college, and I ain't tripping. I got a couple doctorate degrees, masters, engineering, all that, yada, yada. That means absolutely nothing about what I'm talking about. But what I am saying, because we were all probably sold that same lie. You go to school, you do this, you do that. Let me give you an eye opener. If you can lay that thing on the nightstand, that ain't it. That ain't it. And I did it too. I went to school too. I did all of that. What I am saying, just because you put yourself through, and school doesn't determine, and I'm not saying don't go to school. So, we good. Like I said, I got what I got too. But, and sometimes when you dealing in corporate America, yeah, you're going to have to get what the law of the land expecting you to have if you want some of those positions. But by the same token, what I am saying to you is we can have that piece of paper. You can go, and school don't say how smart you are. School just say you was disciplined enough to go through a process. But let's say you get the paper. Okay, what? All of a sudden, when I get the paper, now I can do voila, or you can do voila. Baby, you had it in you all the time. That paper didn't validate you, and neither did them 4 or 20 years of school we went through. So what I am saying to you, tap in to the God power that's within you, because you got what it takes. You whatever it is you dreamed about, you got that in you right now. Only reason you're not doing it is because of your unbelief and all the foolishness and all the stuff that we've learned that we got to unlearn that people have put on us. So when you tap out of that, you can tap into the real you. What do you desire? What do you want? And if you think about it, that's the way Truett Cathy was with Chick-fil-A. When he lost his brother with the airplane, that the building burned down, all of this stuff happened in his life, and he laid there, and then he ended up having the polyps in his colon, and he laid on that bed and said, "What do I want? What do I really want?" Because now it's like I done lost everything. I done lost my family. I done lost his name. But he had not lost his life. And if you listening to the sound of my voice, neither have me or you. We still got life. That means we still got a chance. We still got the opportunity to do what we need to do, to be who we need to be, and to reach the desires and live the abundant life. If we were to live the abundant life and we are to follow what the instructions we were given, not the little etch-a-sketch stuff we were sold just because we won't read it every day or whatever. We won't abide in the word every day. And I'm not saying you do or you don't, but I'm saying our life look like the way it look based on what we are putting in. And it's like what they say in the computer world, garbage in, garbage out. And so if we got a little, that's because we believing in knowing for a little. I know you can say, Joyce, that's easier said than done, but I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you in these next few days, like starting today, starting tonight. Tap in and watch what you're saying out of your mouth. Tap in and listen to the drama you're listening to and shut it down. Tap in to what you're on the phone listening to or talking about. Is that going to help you get to your next level? You scrolling anyway, you might as well scroll up on something that's going to help and bless you. I ain't trying to be funny. It ain't got to be me. Just tap into somebody. Tap into somebody that's going to help you get to that next level. And they don't have to have it all together. They can be a few steps ahead of you and help you pull you across. Jesus dying on the cross helped us to get across. Tap in. Tap in. So I say we know, sorry about that. We know what we can do, but do we do it? We know how to walk in victory for the little things or the things that we say. We know how to get a car. And guess what? Money is all around us, but will we see it? He said, you have not because you ask not. So if you didn't ask, we already know you don't have it. And if you ask with doubtfulness and unbelief, he said, how long I got to tarry with you? How long? How long we got to go through this with you not having the faith that you need, that you're not being able to tap in? So when you look at life, or when I look at life, and when I started doing this, I can't lie, my life has changed dramatically. I cannot lie, and it continues to change. Money, stuff, you name it. You name it. It's being added. And it ain't that I'm making no more. Because like I said, I retired last year. Like last year. August, I walked off. But I ended up going through some health challenge and then really retired to December. But think about that. And here I'm saying, I think I want I want to fix my deck or whatever. And the universe, God, divine, whatever you calling it, has a line for somebody to go ahead and fix that. I come out the door one day, the people kneeling. Set it and forget it. Just believe and walk in what you want. If you desire it, believe. Don't worry about how he gonna do it. Just believe and walk in it. Not just, and I'll take you further. Don't just believe. Know that it's already done. And say, how would I feel if I already knew whatever that desire is? How would I feel? How would I act? How would I be? What would I be doing? What would I be saying? And that was just one of the things. One of the things. I started doing something for my nonprofit, and the people blessed me not with one freezer, two. Brand spanking new. Told me to go to the store and pick them out. God told them to bless me with them. Just think about that. When I look back, as the old people used to say, when I look back over my life, I'm saying blessings will come when you have no way of knowing how it will come. And God can make the people who did you bad last season turn around and bless you this season. You just got to stay the course. You got to stay the course. Because if you don't stay the course, then you get off track. Your blessings going down a whole different street while you over here on Mad Street. Why? Why? Walk in it. Decide that it is yours. Decide that now is your time. Decide that you can have anything you want. Decide. Decide. The people who drive the Rolls Royce or the Lamborghinis or whatever, they just not afraid to take the risk. Whether that's borrowing the money, using somebody else's money or whatever. You can have it too. But your risk level low. You afraid. Afraid of what? Can't take none of it with you when you leave. None. Absolutely none. Let me see. I wrote down something else, but I did want to say, okay, that was Hebrews 4:2. And it say mix the word with faith. So what are your words? What are your words? What are the words you speaking out of your mouth? What will you mix with faith to say, I have that and I have that now? Do it. I can't tell you enough. Tap in. Tap in. Tap into your God-given power because you have it. He left all of us with gifts, with talents, with a way. We can't no longer sit on the sideline. If not, look and see what's in your house. I'm telling you, your gifts and talents will make room for you. Somebody may have, you may say, well, they took what I was going to say. They ain't got the flavor you got. And that ain't being arrogant or cocky. They don't have the flavor. They don't have it the way he gave it to you. They don't have your experiences. They don't have any of that. Tap in, baby. Tap in. We ain't going into 2025 being lackadaisical, being woe is me and po is me. We're going all in. All in. I made this so economical, affordable for anybody and made it just $35 a month. Whereas before they was paying $350, $550 for the same training, but you getting that and so much more. Tap in. Tap in. Because you know what I looked at? I'm still alive. And I got too much information. And I ain't no gatekeeper. If you know me on the job, you know I ain't no gatekeeper. You know, because if I can help you, we're going to the other side. We are going to the other side. Only way you don't go, you decide you ain't going and you ain't going to do nothing. Now, if you're going to be a do nothing, I understand. This ain't for you. And I understand because it ain't even worth it. It ain't worth the drag that you're going to put on the team. But if it's something that you desire and you won't, find that one thing. And I give you that dare challenge. Decide something today. Decide anything. Decide, you can decide 1 to 3, but decide one that you can go all in with all you got. Decide one. Assess your assets. Realize, what do I have? It's scripture. What do you have? Use it. Use it. R, reject rejection. Reject the enemy that's inside of you. Reject that. Reject anybody that's talking crazy. If you say like me, I said, well, from this point, I'm going to do the desires of my heart, and I'm going to do what God has put on my heart, what I have laid await for so long. And now I realize I'm in the promised land because I'm here where I desire. Didn't know it was going to become this way or going through challenges in my body, but I'm here. Why would I let somebody tell me, well, you know what you need to do is go get a job. Well, what you need to do is get off my phone because I ain't asked you for nothing. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just saying, if I'm going to trust, I cannot surround myself with unbelievers. Period. I got to get into a community and a space with people who thinking like-minded that we going to the other side. Period. Find people who have gone before me and connect. That's why I always pay into somebody too, whether that's a mentor or a coach or what have you. And I do that on purpose. And if you know me from Maximize, you know I stayed doing that. And sometime at $1,000 or whatever. I remember one of the coaches programs, we were out of town. We were in Florida. It was Florida or Texas. Anyway, long story short, the lady told us, the coach told us, don't come in the room tomorrow unless you create a offer. That's what she said. Create an offer. She said, I don't care what it is and I don't care how much it is. She said, create an offer. And if you don't show up tomorrow. And we looking like, then we pay to be in this room. But I like it because she pushed all of us. She said, you ain't got your computer, you don't have your phone, use somebody else, but log in and create an offer. You wouldn't believe this. In the meeting the next day, there were people yelling because boom, looking at their phone, they had got a sale. Had she not had her foot in our back, I don't think nobody, and everybody didn't get a sale, don't get me wrong, but I don't think the people that got a sale would have gotten a sale because you didn't even have an offer. So what would be your offer going forward? I don't care if you can make quilts. pillows, towels, curtains, you name it. Pick something. Decide something. Assess your assets. Reject rejection. Reject the enemy that's inside of you and anybody that's with limited belief outside of you trying to tell you what you can't do. And then let's go all in. Let's endure the process. Let's work every day on it. I'm telling you, and this ain't no money because we're saying $35 a month, 90 days, same as cash. Cash in on you. And at that point from the 90 days, because now your baby would have conceived, now you can go on through the rest of the trimester and 9 months birth it. Set some lofty goals and go out and don't worry about how it's going to happen. Don't worry about, well, if I'm on so and so podcast or if I can do this. Don't worry about any of that. Go all in. You can't lose with what I'm telling you to use because the divine is in you. The divine is in me. We are unstoppable. We are more than conquerors. I know this and you know this. So I'm grateful and thank you to all of you that have cashed out already. And it's Destiny Connect if you want to cash out, or you can go to the website, theincommemaximizer.com, and you can choose however, if you want to tap in with me. And if not, that's quite all right. I'm just making an offer to you because I know it won't be this low all the time, but I want to help as many people as I can just because I've been where I've been otherwise in health and everything. And I'm like, let as many can join. Let as many can get it. I'll be on my YouTube channel as well. And I'll probably extend out to the other things as well. But that's probably where we're going to be teaching at most of the time every Monday at 7 o'clock. Technically, I'm saying an hour of power. But if y'all pulling on me for more information and whatever, hey, I'm going to stay there till you get what you need for that night if it's already in the program. So it is what it is. So, and when I say already in the program, if you mention you have questions that night, you ask them, fine. Or if you put it on the evaluation from the week before and it's already there, we're going to answer that till you understand and you get to where you need to be. But there should be no reason if you decide on that one thing you want. And even if you got the other 2 or 3 lined up, fine. If in that time you done accomplished that, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's keep going. Let's keep growing. There's no way your life shouldn't be better. There's no way that if you listening to anything that I'm going to be, if you picking up what I'm putting down, there's no way that at the end of 2025, you don't have at least 3 sources of income coming in. There's something wrong with you. And you ain't doing that. It ain't got nothing to do with me because I'm going to bring it to you and I'm going to give it to you. Basically giving it to you. So the only way you ain't doing that with. Period. Period. Because what I do know, and I thank God for my parents because they taught us so very much. I'm so grateful. I remember, I was telling somebody that the other day, I remember, and if you was from Wilcox County, you might remember, back in the day, they had this thing called Katie Come Calling. And Katie was a lady that came out and showed you how to cook. I remember we learned how to do yeast rolls. We learned how to do a whole lot of stuff. With that being said, my mother was a great cook. And if you've been around, you know that too, because she would do a lot of food there, but that's neither here nor there. But the point is showing us how to do and then paying, because she would have to buy the food. The classes was free or $5 or something, but the lady came to your house and cooked. I know some of you all cook better chicken than Colonel. I know it. And if he was 60 something and did it, I know you can do something too. I know you can. You know you can too. You just buried those gifts. You buried those talents, but it's time to dust them off. It's time that you believe in you. It's time for you to tap in. It's time. You ain't too old. Stop saying that. You ain't too old. I hear you in the spirit. You ain't too old, but you don't know. I can barely walk. Well, sit down and do it. And I'm sure I'm sitting down speaking to you right now. I'm sure you done been through some things in your life that you can help bless somebody with. So what? Do it. Now it's the time. We got to tap in, y'all. We got to tap in. We can't wait on the government. We can't wait on no job. These folks closing down or telling you bye-bye. I've been laughing half the day because I was looking back in some memories and people didn't know I left last year. That just go to show you sometimes when you whatever it it is what it is. I don't know why they wouldn't have known that, but hey, shifts happen. Shifts happen. People was messaging me, you retired, I didn't know you left when. But listen, it's time for us to win. And if you've been winning, it's time for you to win. And if they counted you out, guess what? I bet you in 2025, they got to think again. And they going to wish they had counted you in. I don't care if it's the X's, the O's, the friends, or the fro's. Listen, they going to wish that they had. And don't worry about it if they didn't invite you to the round table. God was protecting you from that tainted foolishness anyway. I have learned to look for the good in all of that. If they didn't invite you up, that's okay. It's quite all right. Invite yourself up. Create your own channel. Walk in victory because you got it. You got this. You got this. You just need to hear my voice tell you you got it. But you already know you got it. But a lot of times we get down on ourselves and we think about, well, this was a failure. That was a failure. No, that was just a lesson to tell you where to go and how to go and where not to go no more. That's all. So tap in. Like, love, and share these videos that I'm putting out. Tag a friend. Tag somebody. Tag your mama, dad, anybody. I don't really care. But help somebody else grow too. Let me see if there are any questions or anything. I don't see no questions. I see okay now. Okay, great evening. But yeah, so listen, tap in, y'all. And if you already doing something, tap in on that. Ask. Get off your ask. Ask the infinite being, how can I multiply these customers? How can I bring in more customers? How can I get paid for more? Because really don't nobody pay you but you. Because you have to desire that in your heart. You decide on that job how much you gonna make. You decide that. I know you don't know it because we ain't been taught that way. But I learned this when I was at the job at UAB. This one lady said, I'm getting a raise. I'm getting a raise. And the people said, nobody's getting a raise this year. She looking crazy, so we thought. She said, I'm getting a raise this year. They said, no, nobody is getting. You might not be getting a raise. I'm getting a raise this year. Lo and behold, guess who got a raise? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. She got a raise. So I learned that when things weren't going how I thought they should have went. And I'm not saying I was right in that. On my last job, I started saying every day, I said, upper management is looking for ways to give me raises. Upper management is looking for ways to give me raises. I ain't care what nobody was saying. Upper management is looking for ways to give me raises. And guess what? I was at that job, I think about 3 months, about 3-4 months. My supervisor left. We had to wait, which I didn't know what we was waiting on. But when she left, like I said yesterday, serve it up. I started doing her job. I was already helping her. I just filled in the gap. I transferred her phone to me. I just started working the work, working the plan, working the work, because it still got to be done. I didn't want the customers calling and nobody's answering. Start doing that. In 6 months, I promoted. In 9 months or no later than a year or a year and a half, okay, I had got a 30% increase on my money. And guess what I was still saying? Upper management is looking for ways to give me raises. That means I didn't care what my supervisor did. I didn't care. And I know some of them may be watching this thing. I didn't care what none of them did, because I need to tap into who can make the decision. Upper management is finding ways to give me raises. I learned that in college at UAB in my engineering program. That man, and I'm going to tell you this, if you're on somebody's job, that man had us to do, and I've done this in the past with the maximizers and would do deeper into this time as well. Hey, cuz. Hey, Lady J. I see you. He taught us reverse engineer And that's not what it's called, but it is called reverse. But anyway, I'm going to dust off my notes so I can be ready for January the 6th and pull out a lot of that stuff. But I'm going to give you the gist of what we had to do. We had to go and it threw the people on my job because I had just started a new job. So I was like, and I told the coach, I said, I don't know if I can get a raise. I said, I just started the job day before yesterday. Good. You know, I hadn't been there about 3 or 6 months. I think it's probably 6 months. It had to be 6 months because I was in school then. Well, and that was something else I said. Somebody gonna pay for this degree. Somebody gonna pay for my master. Somebody gonna pay for it. And guess what? Not only, Lord bless it, not only did they pay for it, they paid 100% for it. Not only did they pay for that, they paid for the transcripts, the books, that. You have not because you ask not. If your words line up, quit talking all this foolishness of what people doing or ain't doing, said or didn't say. Be whatever they need you to be. They talked about Jesus Christ. You know they gonna talk about me and you. Quit entertaining that and sharing and spreading that foolishness. Because sometimes we don't know the foolishness that nobody said about you, but we heard it from you. So you got to get past that. You got to let all of that go. But long story short, he said, I need you to do these interviews. So I was like, the interviews, you got to get to the top person who makes the decision. I was like, my job don't do that. I said, I would have to, because they want you to go through the chain of command. He said, okay, so how many of them you got to go through to get to where you got to get to? I said, ooh. So half of my interview was frivolous because I just had to interview them because I had to get to where, and this was depending on a grade, by the way, but I had to get to the head man. And at the end of the day, one of the major questions, I think we had 3 or 5 questions we had to ask. But one of the questions that I remember off the top of my head was asking the person, you ain't asking for no raise, by the way, but it's going to get you one. Don't worry about it. You ain't asking for no raise at all. You believing and walking in faith and mixing the words that you're going to get the raise. But one of the things was, what keeps you awake at night? What can my department do that can make your life easy? Listen to what they say. Write all that down. Go work on it. You're going to get the raise. Don't worry about it because your gift will make room for you. Now, I ain't no pushover. If you know me, you know who my mama was or is. And you know who my daddy. My daddy, the Heavenly Father is my daddy. Yeah, that's my daddy. But with that being said, I could tell you how I feel and still go do your work. And it ain't got nothing to do with nothing about nothing. Because if you call yourself gonna mess over me, am I going to tell you? Yes. 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 But then, and I remember one of the directors asked me, he said, now wait a minute, Joyce. He said, what they call it when you in your feelings. You very passionate about this. He said, does that mean you're not going to do the work? I looked that man square in his eyes and I said, no, sir. I don't work unto you all. I work unto him. And every work and everything that you've given me, trust me, I'll meet or beat every deadline you give me. And I did that. Serve it up. Not being arrogant, but I'm not going to let you push over me just because you think what you thinking. It is what it is. But am I going to do your work diligently because I work unto the Lord? Hear me clearly. And when you can step boldly in that, if he'd have fired me, guess what? It was time for me to go. My time was up. But I didn't disrespect him. I didn't do anything. I just stood my ground with what I believed in. Because if you do it for everybody else, you can do it for me. But you don't have the raise because you don't ask for the raise. And when you get to that top layer to do that reverse engineering conversation, don't ask for the raise. Put in the work. Your gift will make room for you. I doubled my income before I left there and was heading toward to try to triple it from the prior job. Okay. Your gift will make room for you. And I know that ain't by me. That was by the grace of the divine. So what I'm saying to you, if you own a job, serve it up. Do what you got to do and make it count. Because you got this. If you're doing your own thing, do what you got to do and work like you was on them people's job. When I was on them, I know I can do this on my own by the grace of God. I'm saying work for a job for myself, not on my own, because if it ain't for him, I'm nothing. I'm absolutely nothing. But with the divine, what I mean by that, if I can work them folks' job, be on call 24/7, work through the weekends, go in, please, I can do a fraction of that work for myself and make it. And you can too. Think about it. If you needed $100 a day, $500 a week, you can't tell me you can't do something to make that. You can't tell me. Create an offer. Decide on something. I received 3 raises on my previous job before I left in 1 year. Absolutely. And it can be done. Just believe and know. Walk in it. Whatever it is God has put on your heart, it's time out for playing small. It's time out. It's time out. It's time out for being big when Lil got you too now. It's time out for running, getting this stuff and talking about you keeping up with the Joneses and you don't know how the Joneses living. It's time out. It's time out. But it's time for us to man up and woman up and be who he has called us to be, even when we haven't done it in the past. So I just wanted to give you all a few tips. Kind of trying to glance my note. I think I said everything that I wanted to say. And I guess I'll just reiterate, you are the person already, with or without the degree, with or without the certification, with or without it, just start walking in it. Start walking in it. The paper ain't going to give you the courage to say you got it. That's just a belief, a limited belief that you and I have believed in. It will not. So walk in victory. Know that you got what it takes. Tap in, whether that's with me or somebody else. But like I told you, this class will be about finances, family, faith, money, mind, marriage. I'm going to show you how to renew your mind. The Bible says renew your mind daily. I'm going to show you how to renew your mind to get any and everything that you want. Period. I don't care what it is, because the word is the word and the principle is the principle. Yeah, some of our beliefs be more stronger on certain things than it do be others. That's why we can walk and bask in this part and not in this part. That's just not your life. That's my life or anybody else's life. We'll believe all for this, but we'll have little belief or knowing for this. So we just got to get to that and start doing it in every area of our life. It's time that we live that abundant life. It is time. It is time. And it won't work if you don't work it. I'm telling you now, it won't. It won't. It won't. I can give you all these strategies that I'm going to give you in these next 3 to 6 months. But if you get up and do nothing, yeah, that's what we going to have. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And you're going to see the other people like, oh, they was a maximizer. They did what? Did they? Yeah. Tap in. Tap in. And if you're interested and want to join the night, you can do the Cash App, or you can go, like I said, to the website, The Income Maximizer, and you should see my picture and stuff come up. Say amen. We have everything we need to achieve everything that we desire. Absolutely. It's already done. You know how the word, and we say creation is finished. You know why it's finished? Because once you think it, it's really done. It's just like saying, if we was going to take that to the next level, when you think about committing adultery, you've committed it. Why? Because it's done. He put the desires in your heart. You can make all the plans, but he guides the step. Because we don't know how it's going to turn out to be what it is. Who would have thunk it? I got to get sick as a dog before I end up leaving a job. Who would have thunk it? I didn't think it. I'm like, I didn't expect this way, and I didn't expect to be down as long as I was down. Now that I'm back up, I'm like, let's run. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What y'all saying? Thank you for sharing your experience and expertise. You're welcome. I'm making jewelry. All right now. Making jewelry tonight for New Year's. Okay. And I'm a little tired. We ain't gonna complain. No complaints. No excuses. So I have to get the orders out. Absolutely. Or I can just sell the jewelry that I have live well. Okay. Nobody but God. But yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Walk in it. Walk in it, Lady J. You got it. Walk in it. Walk in it. So I know we can if we decide we want to. I know that you will. Whatever that is, whatever that one thing is, if you bring that to the table, we going to help you to maximize that. We going to help you to strategize that. We going to connect you with other folks that can. That's what we did all the time in Maximizers Monday. Like we had somebody fixing cars. They did various things where everybody get to share and connect. And what you need, that person got it and vice versa. There's no way you can't win. There is no way you can't win. So are there any questions before we sign off tonight? Are there any questions, any concerns, anything that y'all get anything out of this? And don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I'm going to start putting a lot of the information that's not Hidden Maximizers Monday. I'm going to start putting that out there as well and create with that with the community. So it's Dr. Joyce Perry on YouTube. So definitely connect. And that way you will get the alerts, hit that bell, and then you'll get the notifications when I drop the various videos. Let's say I'm going to set up. Okay, at Kirkland Clinic coming soon. Sounds good. Sounds good. Take out them calendars. Let's get our journal and let's get our blue ink pens. I talked about this sometime earlier this year as well as last year and the year before. Back in the day, people would use a blue ink pen because the blue ink pen signified that it was not a copy. When you do black and white and somebody make a copy, if the machine copier is a good copier, you got to look at that really, really good to see if it's a copy. But with that blue ink pen, you know it's fresh and it's yours. Get your blue ink pens. Write it down in your journal. I'm going to be sharing a journal with you all very soon, in the next few days, hopefully. But that is real good and can help you to maximize and writing down the various stuff that you need, and it's all in one place. So do tap in, take out that blue ink pen and make it count. I leave a notepad beside my bed so that when I wake up and I get something in my spirit, I get the writing. One of the things, and I'll say this before we sign off, one of the things that you got to know when you want to maximize and you want to tap into your divine power, you got to learn how to love and treat you. It's so simple. The strategies that I'm going to help you with and then give you the scripture is so simple, but it go over so many of our heads. The scripture that I'm referring to is that love your neighbor. And a lot of times we love everybody else but us. How I know? Because you don't show up for you. How I know? Because you allow people to walk over you. You allow people to do things that you know you wouldn't tell a friend to let that happen. Because you don't love you enough. You don't love you enough. I didn't love me enough at one time. That's how I know. And we allow things and we allow people and we allow situations in our lives and we entertain foolishness that we really shouldn't. So tap in, faith your way to make it count. Okay, I will get the blue ink pen. Thank you for that. You're welcome. I'm also praying for my music to be released this summer. Believe it as so. Ask. Give thanks. Walk in it. Simple. Ask. Infinite Spirit, let me walk this out. Let me show you what this look like. How can I make my music come forth and come live and be prosperous this year? Thank you for showing me the way to have my music produced and out there this year. Thank you. Every day. Thank you. Thank you for my music being produced, because we ain't begging for nothing. Now we're walking in the line of overflow, that I have what I say and my mouth lines up. Wow, who am I going to meet today to help me with my music? Wow, what connection will I do? And expect it and look for it. Expect it and look for it. Expect it and look for it. It's done. Absolutely. Absolutely. So y'all be blessed. Have a great and wonderful evening. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for the ones I see. Thank you for the ones I can't see. Because when I get off, it always tell me 100 and some folks don't watch it. So I know somebody else watching me besides the people that I can see watching me. So I appreciate you all. And that's okay if you don't want to be seen. Get the information and make it count. Make it do what it do. I love you all. Take care and have a great night. Remember that I'm Dr. JP, the income maximizer. Y'all, I'm the greatest strategizer. He sent me before you not to bore you, to keep it live with strategies for life, for you to create, dominate, thrive, and for you to maximize. It's done, y'all. I have met the person and we're getting together now. Awesome, 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 awesome. So listen, say I appreciate you too and be blessed. Love you. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you all. Y'all take care. So you have a great night also. Thank you, thank you. Well, I love you all and have a good night. Let's faith our way, good people. Have a good one.